Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss objective part 2 from sexual reproduction in angiosperms. Page number 41, level 1. In part 1 already we discussed 1 to 25 questions in level 1. In this part we will start with question number 26. The question is, in P, castor and maize, the number of cotyledons are, I am repeating again, in P, castor and maize, the number of cotyledons are options 1, 1 cotyledon, 2 cotyledons and 2 cotyledons. Option 2, 2 cotyledons, 2 cotyledons and 1 cotyledon. Option 3, 2 cotyledons, 1 cotyledon and 2 cotyledons. Option 4, 1 cotyledon, 2 cotyledon and 1 cotyledon. So to know this answer, first of all, we need to know the pea, castor and maize. These plants belongs to which type of plants, either dicots or monocots, that we need to find. If you know whether the plants are dicot or monocot, it is easy to find the number of cotyledons in each plant. So pea plant, it is a dicot. It consists 2 cotyledons. Castor, it is also a dicot, consists 2 cotyledons. Maize is a monocot and it consists 1 cotyledon. Then the answer is option 2. Pea plant 2 cotyledons, castor 2 cotyledons, maize 1 cotyledon. Question number 27. In Cycas or Pinus, ovule has how many integuments? I am repeating again. In Cycas or Pinus, ovule has how many integuments? Option 1, 3. Option 2, 1. Option 3, 2. Option 4, none. Cycas and Pinus plants belongs to the gymnosperms. Cycas and Pinus plant consists of only one integument, that means unitegmic in condition. Then answer is option 2, one integument present in Cycas or Pinus. Question number 28. Cross pollination is options 1, autogamy, 2, allogamy, 3, chasmogamy, 4, clistogamy. Let's know about these options. First one, autogamy. Pollination in which the pollen from the anther of a flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower is called autogamy. Allogamy. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther of one plant to the stigma of another plant or different plants is called allogamy. Chasmogamy. The production of flowers that open so as to expose the reproductive organs. Such flowers are called as chasmogamous flowers. Clistogamy. The production of flowers that close so they are not exposed the reproductive organs. Such flowers are called as Clistogamous flowers. So among these options, as per question, cross pollination is equal to allogamy, transfer of pollen grains from anther of one plant to the stigma of another plant of the same species, or a different plants of the same species. So here autogamy is a type of self-pollination, and chasmogamy and clistogamy, these are the type of flowers based on the opening and closing of the flowers. Now answer is option 2, allogamy, the other name of cross pollination. Question number 29. Rarely in angiosperms, the pollen tube developed further in embryo sac. The abnormality is called options 1. Metaxenia, 2. Namak phenomena, 3. Xenia, 4. Mesogamy. Let's see the options information. Metaxenia. The effect of pollen grains is not only restricted to the characters of the endosperm but tissue outside the endosperm. This effect of pollen grain is known as metaxenia. Namak phenomena. Pollen tube developed further in embryo sac are produced by the repeated divisions of vegetative nucleus. It is also called tube nucleus, while the generative nucleus degenerates. Xenia. It is opposite to this metaxenia. The effect of male parent, that is pollen grain, on seeds or fruits of the fertilized plant is called xenia. Mesogamy. Entrance of the pollen tube through the integument is called as the mesogamy. So as for this information, rarely in angiosperm, the pollen tube development in embryo sac, the abnormality is called as Namak phenomena. This Namak is the scientist name who observed the development of pollen tube in embryo sac. It is due to the repeated divisions of vegetative nucleus, while the generative nucleus degenerates. Then the answer is option 2, Namak phenomena. Page number 42, question number 30. Match the columns 1 and 2 and choose the correct combination from the options given. So column 1, it is given A. Date palm, B. Mycelia, C. Papaver, D. Commelina. In column 2, 1. Clistogamous flower, 2. Multicarpellary syncarpous pistil, 3. Prevent geitonogamy, 4. Multicarpellary apocarpous pistil. These are the column 1, column 2 words. We need to match this. So let's see the correct answers of this. Date palm prevent geitonogamy because date palm is a dioecious plant. Male and female flowers are present on different plants. Mycelia. It consists multicarpellary apocarpous pistils. Papaver. It consists multicarpellary syncarpous pistil. Commelina. It produces clistogamous flower. Based on this information, the answer is option 2. Question number 31. Endosperm of angiosperms is produced after fertilization of a male gamete with, I am repeating again, endosperm of angiosperms is produced after fertilization of a male gamete with options 1. Antipodals, 2. Synerges, 3. Secondary nucleus, 4. Oosphere. Let's know about the options. Antipodals. These are haploid cells present at chalazal end in embryo sac. No, not involved in fertilization. Synerges. These are also haploid cells present at micropylar end in embryo sac. Filiform apparatus are present in synerges which play an important role in guiding the pollen tubes into the synerges. Secondary nucleus, it is formed during fusion of two polar nuclei in central cell. It is diploid condition. Oosphere, the non-motile female gamete in plants and in some algae. In angiosperms, it is a cell in the embryo sac of the ovule, that is nothing but egg cell. In other plants, it is situated in an archegonium. Now, the question is, endosperm of angiosperm is produced after fertilization of a male gamete with, male gamete is a haploid. Here endosperm is a triploid. Now, antipodals are haploid cells. Synerges are haploid cells. Oosphere is also haploid. So, male gamete is also haploid. When the haploid oosphere is fused with a male gamete, it produces a diploid zygote. But in this question, endosperm is formed. Endosperm is triploid, 3n condition. Male gamete is haploid and it fused with the secondary nucleus. It is diploid, 1n plus 2n. It produces triploid endosperm. So endosperm is formed during the fusion of a male gamete with secondary nucleus. Hence, the answer is option 3, secondary nucleus. Question number 32. Read the following statements carefully and select the appropriate option given below. Statement 1. It is possible to store pollen grains of a large number of species for years in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees centigrade. Statement 2. Cells of the nucellus have abundant reserves of food material. Statement 3. In a normal flower which opens and exposes the anthers and the stigma, complete autogamy is common. Statement 4. If both male and female flowers are present on the same plant, it prevents both autogamy and geitonogamy. Statement 5. Cultivation of hybrids has tremendously increased productivity. Options. Option 1. All are correct except statement 1 and 2. Option 2. All are correct except statement 2 and 3. Option 3. All are correct except 3 and 4 statements. Option 4. All are correct except statement 4 and 5. Let's go through the statements given here. So first statement, it is possible to store the pollen grains for years in a liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees centigrade. This method is called as cryopreservation. So during this method, the pollen grains are stored in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees centigrade. So this statement is correct. And second statement, New Cellus has abundant reserve food materials. It is also correct statement. And the third statement, here it is given in normal flowers which opens and exposes the anthers and the stigma. Complete autogamy is common. Here the flower is opens and exposes. So it supports not only autogamy, it also supports the geitonogamy as well as cross pollination. So the statement should be like this. So in a normal flower which opens and exposes the anthers and the stigma, autogamy and geitonogamy is common. Not only autogamy, it also supports the geitonogamy. So that's why here statement 3 is wrong as per given here. Next, fourth statement, in both male and female flowers are present on the same plant. That condition is called as bisexual or maybe monoecious. It prevents both autogamy and geitonogamy. It prevents autogamy. Autogamy is nothing but transfer of pollen grain within the flower. Geitonogamy is nothing but transfer of pollen grain from one flower to the another flower in the same plant. So that's why in both, if both male and female flowers are present on the same plant in monoecious plants, it prevents only autogamy. It does not prevent geitonogamy. So that's why this statement is also wrong as per question given here. Then fifth statement, that is cultivation of hybrids. So hybrids increases the productivity. That's why this statement is also correct. So as per statements, statement 1, 2 and 5 are correct statement except 3 and 4. Then option is 3. Statement 3 and 4 are wrong. Remaining 3. Statement 1, 2 and 5 are correct. Question number 33. Rose plants produce large, attractive bisexual flowers, but they seldom produce fruits. The reason for failure of fruit formation in rose may be. So let's know the meaning of seldom, rarely. So apply this word in the question and repeat it. Rose plants produce large, attractive bisexual flowers, but they rarely produce fruits. The reason for failure of fruit formation in rose may be. Option 1. Rose plants may not produce viable pollen grains. Option 2. There may be self-incompatibility. Option 3. Rose plants may have abortive ovules. Option 4. All of the above. Let's know the reasons for failure of fruit formation in rose. Reason 1. Not produce viable pollen grain. Option, that means second reason. Female gametophyte is non-functional. Female gametophyte is nothing but embryo sac is non-functional. Third reason. Maybe hybrids and reproduce vegetatively. Pollen grains are produced through sexual reproduction. Fourth reason may be self-incompatibility. Fifth reason may have abortive, nothing but arrested in development, means undeveloped ovules. Due to all these reasons, the rose flower produces fruits rarely. Very rarely they produce the fruits. So as per following these reasons, not produce viable pollen given in the option, maybe self incompatibility given in the option, may have abortive ovules. Abortive means arrested in development, undeveloped ovules. These three are given in the options. That's why the answer is option 4. All the above three reasons are correct. Question number 34. The point of attachment of the stalk with the seed is called options 1. Hilum, 2. Micropyle, 3. Tegmen, 4. Plumule. Let's know about options. Hilum. Point of attachment of the stalk funicle with the ovule is called hilum. Here stalk of the ovule called as funicle which attaches to the ovule body. That point of attachment is called as hilum. Micropyle. Gap left by integuments in the ovule is called micropyle. Tegmen. The delicate inner protective layer of a seed is called tegmen. Inner seed coat, simply we can call it as. Plumule. Shoot part of an embryo. Now let's repeat the question again. The point of attachment of stalk with the seed. So now let's see that the seeds are developed from the ovule. So after fertilization, ovule is developed as a seed. So now the point of attachment of the stalk with the seed, with the ovule is called as hilum. Then answer is option 1. Question number 35. Micropyle occurs in options 1. Ovary, 2. Seeds, 3. Ovule, 4. Both second and third options. So let's know that where this micropyle is present. Micropyle is a gap left by the integuments in the ovule. So one, it is clear, micropyle occurs in the ovule. Now in seed, micropyle modified as a seed pore. So after fertilization, ovule modified as a seed. The integuments of ovule modified as a seed coats, and micropyle of the ovule is developed as a seed pore. Then the option is 4, that is in both ovule as well as in seed, micropyle is occurs because ovule later modified as a seed. So micropyle we can observe in the ovule as well as this micropyle you can observe as a seed pore in the seed. Hence the answer is option 4. Question number 36. Monocot seed generally shows options 1. Apigeal germination, 2. Hypogeal germination, 3. Both 1 and 2 options, 4. None of the above. Let's know the meaning of the options. Apigeal germination. Germination of a plant takes place above the ground is called apigeal germination. This we can observe in dicots. Hypogeal germination. Germination of a plant takes place below the ground. This we can observe in monocots. So as per this information, the answer is option 2, hypogeal germination. This apigeal and hypogeal germination we are already discussed in question number 1. Question number 37. Pollen grains have spiny axine to aid in options 1. Entomophily, 2. Anemophily, 3. Ornithophily, 4. Chiropterophily. Let's know about information of these options. Entomophily. Pollination by insects. Such flowers are called as entomophilous flowers. Their pollen grains are sticky and have spiny axine. Anemophily. Pollination by wind. Such flowers are called anemophilous flowers. They produce pollen grains with non-sticky and light in weight. Ornithophily. Pollination by birds. Such flowers are called as ornithophilous flowers. The pollen grains are large and may be sticky. Chiropterophily. Pollination by bats. Such flowers are called as chiropterophilous flowers. And these flowers produce abundant pollen grains. So as for this information, pollen grains are sticky, have spiny axine in entomophily. Then answer is option 1. Question number 38. In the given figure, A represents options 1. Male gametophyte, 2. Female gametophyte, 3. Male sporophytes, 4. Female sporophytes. So let's see the diagram given in the question. So it is the broken anther or dehiscence anther. So anther is broken after maturity and it produces the or it releases the pollen grains through stomium region. So these pollen grains are also called microspores and they are also considered as male gametophytes. Why they are called as male gametophytes? Because the pollen grains carry the male gametes or male nuclei. So pollen grains are also known as microspores. Pollen grains carry male gametes, hence they are also called male gametophytes. So the given A represent male gametophyte or microspores or pollen grains. But options given here, it is male gametophyte, that is option 1. Question number 39. Which represents male and female reproductive organs respectively in angiosperms? Option 1. Andrecium and gynoecium. Option 2. Filament and style. Option 3. Pollen grain and ovule. Option 4, all of the above. So let's know the information of these options. Andrecium, male reproductive organ. Gynoecium, female reproductive organ. Filament and style are the parts of anther. Pollen grain is a male gametophyte and ovule is a future seed. So as per question, which represent the male and female reproductive organs? That is, andrecium and gynoecium represents male and female reproductive organs. Then answer is option 1. Question number 40. While planning for an artificial hybridization program involving dioecious plants, find out the correct sequence of steps. So in question, some steps are given here. Step A, collection of pollen grain. Step B, dusting of pollen grain on stigma. Step C, emasculation. Step D, bagging of female flower. Step E, rebagging. So these 5 steps we need to arrange in order. So let's know about dioecious plant. Dioecious plant, the male and female flowers are present on separate plants. Such plants are called as the dioecious plants. In such plants, emasculation is absent or does not carry because it is a dioecious plant. In female plants, anthers are absent. So that's why automatically need not to remove the anthers. So emasculation does not required in dioecious plants for artificial hybridization. Then sequence of steps in artificial hybridization program in dioecious plants. So step 1, bagging of female flower to prevent unwanted pollination. Step 2, collection of pollen. Step 3, dusting of pollen on stigma. For this dusting, we will remove the bagging of the flower. So that's why step 4, we need to rebag the pollinated flower again to allow the fertilization. So this is the correct sequence of order in the artificial hybridization program. As per this order, the answer is option 3. So first it is D statement, that is bagging of female flower. Then A step, that is collection of pollen. Then B step, dusting of pollen on stigma. And then rebagging. Here the step C is not given because in dioecious plants emasculation is not required. Question number 41. In a fertilized embryo sac, the haploid, diploid and triploid structures are options 1, synerge, zygote and secondary nucleus. 2, synerge, antipodal and polar nuclei. 3, antipodal, synerge and primary endosperm nucleus. 4, synerge, zygote and endosperm. So based on these options, let know the ploidy of the different types of cells given in the options. Antipodal cells, haploid, secondary nucleus, diploid, egg cell, haploid, Swernedge, haploid, zygote, diploid, primary endosperm nucleus, simply endosperm, triploid, polar nuclei, haploid. After fusion, they become secondary nucleus. So in this question, they are given the order haploid, diploid, and triploid. So according to that, the answer is option 4. Swernedge is haploid, diploid is secondary nucleus or maybe zygote as per option zygote, and endosperm or primary endosperm nucleus. Question number 42. Intraspecific cross-pollination is options 1. Autogamy, 2. Geitonogamy, 3. Xenogamy, 4. Alloautogamy. Let's know about the options. Intraspecific, between the same species. Autogamy, the kind of self-pollination in which pollens are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower in the same plant. Geitonogamy, a kind of self-pollination in which pollens are transferred from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower on the same plant. So autogamy and geitonogamy both are self-pollination only. So these two are not considered to our options. Allogamy, it is not given in the option, but we should know the definition. The deposition of pollen grains from the anther of one flower on the stigma of another flower, either in the same plant or in a different plant of the same species, is called allogamy. Xenogamy, it is given in the option. The deposition of pollen grains from the anther of one flower on the stigma of a genetically different flower of the same species. And alloautogamy, it is also given in the option. This is the condition in which flowers get self-pollinated when cross-pollination is failed. Such condition is called alloautogamy. So as per this information, first two, autogamy and geitonogamy, these two are self-pollination types. But here intraspecific cross-pollination, that is the question. So intraspecific, intra means already given between the same species. So as per options, the answer is option 3, xenogamy. So transfer of pollen grain from anther of one flower on the stigma of a genetically different flower of the same species. That is, xenogamy is the answer. Question number 43. In hypogeal germination, plumule comes out of the ground due to elongation of options 1. Hypocotyl, 2. Epicotyl, 3. Cotyledons, 4. Both 1 and 2 options. Let's know about the options. Hypocotyl, the stem of a germinating seedling found below the cotyledons and above the radicle is called hypocotyl. Hypogeal germination, germination of a plant takes place below the ground. Epicotyl is the part of embryonic axis which lies above the point of attachment of the cotyledons, while plumule is the tip of the epicotyle which gives rise to the shoot of the new plant. Hypogeal germination is a type of germination where by the seed leaves or cotyledons remain below the soil surface during germination. So now here during hypogeal germination, seed leaves, that means seedlings are left in the soil itself, and then the tip of the epicotyle is elongated and plumule comes above the ground level. So epicotyle is elongated during hypogeal germination. This definition, that is takes place below the ground germination, and the germinated one is elongated and comes out above the ground due to elongation of the epicotyle. So as per this information, the answer is option 2, epicotyle. Question number 44. Type of ovule present in Opuntia is options: 1. Amphitropous, 2. Campylotropous, 3. Cercenotropous, 4. Orthotropous. Let's know about these options. Amphitropous. Embryo sac becomes curved like horseshoe. Campylotropous. Ovule is circled more or less at right angle to the funicle. Cercenotropous. Body of ovule initially orthotropous. That means funicle, chalaza, micropyle are in straight position, and again turn into anatropous, that is inverted, that is turn up to 180-degree angle due to the growth of funicle. The growth continues till the ovule once again becomes orthotropous, straight line. As a result, funicle completely surrounds the body of the ovule. Orthotropous, it is also called as atropous. The micropyle, chalaza and funicle are in straight line. So among these types, this Opuntia consists Cercenotropous type of ovule. So option 3, Cercenotropous ovule is present in Opuntia. Question number 45. Versatile anthers are connected with options: 1. Entomophily, 2. Malacophily, 3. Ornithophily, 4. Anemophily. So let's know the meaning of these options. Option 1, entomophily, pollination by insects. Option 2, malacophily, pollination by snails. Option 3, ornithophily, pollination by birds. Option 4, anemophily, pollination by wind. So now in this question, versatile anthers. So versatile is a type of anther fixation. So there are different types of anther fixations. They are basifixed. filament is fixed on the basal side of the anther. Adenate. So the filament is attached at the connective region and it is along with the anther. And third type, dorsifixed. Filament fixed in the dorsal side of the anther. And fourth type is versatile. So versatile anther, the filament attaches in the middle of the connective and the anther can swing freely. Let's see the diagram. So this is the diagram of versatile anther. This filament is connected to the connective of the anther. Connective is a tissue present between the anther lobes. So now in adenate anther, this filament connects the connective and travel along with the anther. But whereas in this versatile, the filament connects at the point of this connective region and remaining part of the anthers are swing freely, move freely. This type of anthers we can observe in the wind pollinated flowers to disperse pollen grain freely. Hence, the answer is option 4, anemophily. Thank you. We will meet again in the next part. We will discuss the level 2 objectives.